All right, here we are. So, looking at the height of trees as we start this, the height of carob tree, around 50 feet tall, right? Grows up to 50 feet. And we're doing this for a reason. Height of fir tree. And it's anywhere from 30 feet to 260 to 300 feet. So we're going to go, let's say they're about 100 feet tall on average. Okay. And this is the point that I'm trying to make. We're going to read something. And it's not about this, but we start with this, with this picture of a fir tree. Once I close this up. Yeah. And then we're going to go to, I want to say, a palm and a date tree. Let me see if I got the right ones. Nope. There we go. Now, let me start to read. We're in the book of Enoch, and we're in the 24th chapter. And we're just going to read the parts that are pertaining to what I'm talking about. Verse 4. And amongst them was such a tree as I had never yet smelt. Neither was amongst them, nor were others like it. It had a fragrance beyond all fragrance, and its leaves and blossoms and wood wither not forever. And its fruit is beautiful, and its fruit resembles the dates of a palm. So these are dates of a palm tree, just in case you guys are wondering what they look like. Then I said, how beautiful is this tree, fragrant, and its leaves are fair, and its blossoms very delightful in appearance. Then answered Michael, one of the holy and honored angels who was with me, and was their leader. And he said unto me, Enoch, why dost thou ask me regarding the fragrance of the tree? And why dost thou wish to learn the truth? Then I answered, saying, I wish to know about everything, but especially about this tree. And he answered, saying, this high mountain, which thou hast seen, whose summit is like the throne of God, is his throne, where the holy great one, the Lord of glory, the eternal King, will sit, when he shall come down to visit the earth with goodness. And as for this fragrant tree, no mortal shall be permitted to touch it till the great judgment, when he shall take vengeance on all and bring everything to its consummation forever. And it shall be given to the righteous and holy, and its fruit shall be for food to the elect. And it shall be transplanted to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the eternal King. Let me go ahead and skip on through. We're going to go to the 28th chapter, and we're going to go to what would be the third verse. And I came to the garden of righteousness, and from afar trees more numerous than these. In great, hold on, let me go back. Let me read something to you, so that way everybody understands that the tree that we read about could actually be the tree of life, the one with the dates and the palms. And as we get ready to make this transition to the next subject of tree talked about, let me see if I can't. No, yeah, that's right, and that, and let's see if I can get this picture to cooperate. No. going to be a knucklehead. Don't worry. We only need a couple furs anyway to really see. We only need to be able to look at them and so that way you can understand. So once again, a the average height for a tree, that's one of these right here, and I'm going to read the description of it. It's called a carob tree. It is up to 50 feet. The average height, we're going to say, for a fir tree, people would like to call them pine trees, we're going to say is around 100 feet tall. And that's taking into consideration that it says they're anywhere from 30 feet on up. But those are very, 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 the ones that are 30 feet are like really small ones. And I've been around like ones that are 300 foot before. So I'm confident in what I'm saying. Verse 2. And I came to the garden of righteousness and saw beyond those trees many large trees growing there and of goodly fragrance, large, very beautiful and glorious, and the tree of wisdom whereof they eat and know great wisdom. And I came to the garden of righteousness, and from afar off trees more numerous than these, and great, two trees there, very great, beautiful, and glorious, and magnificent. And the tree of knowledge, whose holy fruit they eat and know great wisdom. That tree is like the fir tree. Okay? Let me go ahead and close a couple things down so that way y'all can see it the right way. Oh, close that. And close that. Again, this is a fir tree without a doubt. Okay, now back to my point. Oh. Okay. And we'll leave that one up right there. We'll just leave that real tree up. Here we go. Back to the point. That tree is in height like the fir, and its leaves like those of the carob. So imagine a tree that's tall, let's say 100 feet tall, let's even say 300 feet tall. And it has not these sort of branches where they stand up and they're abrasive almost, but a much more subtle look, more bushy. And its fruit is like the clusters of the vine. If you guys have ever seen a vineyard, I just didn't pull up one of those pictures, my apologies. But this is the tree of wisdom. This is the tree that Eve, Zoe, Isha ate from, being deceived by the serpent, who following behind her, Ish or Adam, or any of the variants of names that people have given him throughout time, ate from as well. And the fruit is like the cluster of a vine, very beautiful. And the fragrance of the tree penetrates afar. Stop right there. Now, we're going to do some investigation real quick, right? We'll go back to this window capture. We're going to turn this off. And we're going to look at the Christmas tree. Whoa. It's a fir tree, obviously, and it's decorated to be beautiful. See, that for them to go out of their way to try to splice or they probably have even tried to make crosses of the fir and the carob. What Brother Hassan was saying was this. Let's go ahead and look at this one right here. Hopefully it's got a nice picture to it so we can really, really look at it. Come on. All right. So this one doesn't have the angel on top of it, or a star, but the star is representation of an angel. Let's go back. I need one that's decorated all the way. Let's go to images. I don't want to go through none of this drama. And I didn't have time to put the Kagatio in this lesson and in this learning. Oh, this is excellent right here. Bam. I'm contending. Let's blow this up just a little bit. I am contending that indeed the very mechanism, the very thing you're looking at, is in reminiscence of the tree that Enoch seen himself and that Adam and Eve, as many know them as, looked at. What I'm saying is that I do believe that the tree bore different color fruit. It was beautiful, right? Now, they've made abomination trees like that, but the Most High God can do as he pleases. And anything he does is righteous. And this tree was able to open the minds and allow someone to see in a different spectrum. I'm not saying that the fruit itself, one piece could have been different colors. We don't know what it looks like. And it was in clusters like grapes. And the tree of life, I believe, which is the first one, is more like dates of a palm tree. This is deep. Now, it didn't say it had the appearance of a palm tree. It just said its fruit was like that of a palm tree. And that it, too, was very beautiful to contemplate. So we could assume that those were different color looking things that people were seeing, or at least Adam and Eve saw for whatever period and duration of time they were in the garden. Oh, okay. Why Christmas? Why this day? Winter solstice, I believe, has a lot to do with it. Like I told y'all, the Roman holiday, they used to let their slaves run free. These individuals believe that they are of Roman descendancy, or that somehow their ancestors who overthrew the Roman Empire were the last remnant and the last, how do you say, the last act of the Romans, even though the Romans were the last act of themselves. So we won't get too carried away, but I just wanted y'all to see what I'm seeing, what the brother explained to me, and what I was able to put into my mind. Every time I see one of these trees now, and the carob tree is fairly common. You see it in a lot of different places. Every time I see the trees, though, I just think, I'm like, who knows what these trees looked like back then? If a rainbow is indeed a spectra, and a version of spectra, something that we can see and experience, why would the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the tree of wisdom, because wisdom knows the difference between good and evil, why would that tree be anything less spectacular than what it is being described as? And why would not our enemies, our God-given enemies, not put onto a tree where they celebrate their beliefs, but trying to take from one thing and bring into another? And that's Kagatio. Cagatio. Okay? Look it up. Matter of fact, I'll show y'all real quick. So that way don't nobody think I'm trying to pull a fast and slip one. There we go. They already know. And this is supposed to be a log that you feed it and you hit it and it defecates out gifts. And this is another piece where the Christmas or so-called Christ Mass comes from. It's very deep, y'all. Anyway, I greatly appreciate all your time. I appreciate you giving me the moment just to lend your ear. I know it doesn't seem like it helps or changes anything, but it should, and you should realize that maybe what you're trying to symbolically represent is something of a far greater significance than you and I could ever know. We have yet our one life to live. Let's not squander it, not learning anything of true value. This is another lesson in the not so obvious somewhat esoteric. I salute you. And I thank Brother Hassan Banel for all the information. Uh, because without him, I would never even probably perceived it ever. And if I did, who knows at what point in my life it would have been. So I thank the Most High God for giving that brother the insight, to give me the insight to share with y'all and to do it at least half right. You know, I love you. I salute you. May tomorrow be better than today, and may your next week be better than the last.